Hey folks, welcome to episode 6 of my Antique Tools series. It's been a few weeks since I've done an episode, and I'll explain at the end of this video, I'll explain why. So hang around for the end. But I want to thank you for stopping by for a bit. So as you can see, today's episode is featuring these hand drills. So come on in closer and I'll show you these tools that I have in front of me. So let's start with this one here, a Carpenter's brace bit. Now this one I know was my father's. I remember him showing me how to use it. And I believe this one was my father's also. I do know this one was. And I looked for a manufacturer's name on this, and I don't see a name anywhere. It might be on the chuck here. I can see some marks on it, but they look more like nicks than some kind of stamping or engraving. If there is a name on there, I can't read it. But really, it doesn't look like there is. So I don't see a manufacturer's name anywhere on this, or on this one here. But these, I believe, date to the 1950s. As I said, this one was my father's. I believe I've mentioned in prior videos that my father had a construction company doing residential construction, and he actually took over the business from my grandfather. So these tools were my father's back in maybe the late 40s. He worked with his father, my grandfather, prior to World War II, but he was a young teenage boy at that time. And then after the war, they had both gone into the service. After the war, they came back, started up the construction company again. And then after a few years, my father took over the company. So he had all these tools dating back to the late 40s and early 50s is when he would have bought these tools. So I'm guessing these two go back to the 1950s. This one is both of these are a ratchet type of brace bit. You can see the ratchet here, and you can, if I remember correctly, it's been years since I've used this, but this ratchet, you can adjust which way you want the ratchet to work. Now if I'm wrong and somebody knows, correct me on this, but I believe this is how it works. So you can see the little lever here. So you press this lever down. It's a little stiff because it's kind of rusty, but you press this. I don't know if I can get it. I got it earlier. There we go. Press that lever in, and then you turn this bit here, and it locks it into place, and that will set the ratchet one way. I forget which way it's going to be, but it sets the ratchet one way. So if you try to turn, it's just going to click. And then you can also do it the other way. So you press that one down, turn the clip there, and it locks it the other way. So depending on which one you want to use, which way you want the bit to turn and the ratchet to work, you can adjust it there. Or you can just leave it in the neutral position and you will not have a ratchet either way. So this works on the same principle. The design's a little different. You don't see, on this one you can see the ratchet here. On this one you can't see it. So it's internal in there. But it's the same principle. So now let's move on from the Carpenter's Bit Braces to this drill here, which is known as a breast drill or chest drill, sometimes known as a knee drill. So I'll get into that a little more in a minute. But there is a name here. It's hard to read. There's a little decal on here, but it's kind of scraped off. But I was able to trace this down. This was manufactured by, let's see, it's kind of hard to read, but it says Miller's Falls Company. And it says made in USA, so you know it's old. So Miller's Falls Company was based out of Greenfield, Massachusetts. The company was founded back in 1868, and like so many companies, it went through different cycles and ownerships. And since I think the 1990s, the company name, Miller Falls Company, has been owned by a company out of, guess where? China. I don't think they're making any tools, but they do own the company name. So this is a model 120B. Now I do fortunately have, let's see if I can focus on this. I don't think it's going to show up in the camera here, but there is a model number 120B here. It also says Miller Falls Company, made in USA. And that might show it. So, so I found a nice website. I want to give them credit. Let's see if I can find it again here. In my research on this breast drill, I found a website by the name of oldtoolheaven.com. They had a nice history on Miller Falls Company. They even had a page for this model here, 120B. So provided some background on this. According to what I read, I think it was on this website, might have been on another one, these were manufactured in the 1950s. So that leads me to believe that this was probably my father's as well. I don't remember. Like a lot of my tools, I don't remember exactly where I got them. But I think this was probably my father's as well. So I want to thank oldtoolheaven.com for the information on the company and on this drill here. So on the breast drills, also known as chest drills or knee drills, these are designed to drill through steel and metal and hard wood. And the purpose behind these, this is a chest plate here, or breastplate. So the purpose behind these is for the user to put some weight into behind the drill to drill through the steel and the metal and the hard wood. So they're really designed for the user to be standing up using this and pressing into whatever's being drilled, or at least pressing down, maybe kneeling down and pressing down on the product being drilled. So this is a 2-gear, 2-speed drill. So right now it's on the low gear. So if you can see, let me come around. So you can see the 2 gears. So you either engaged with this gear, these 2 gears together, or these 2 together. And so on the low gear there, if I spin it, you can see it's not turning too fast. Now if I switch, and it's an easy switch to switch the gears. So I press, where is it? Yeah, press this here, push that in, that releases the handle here. And then I bring it down so it was in that hole to engage those gears. So I take it out, drop it down into here, and that engages these gears. And now if I spin it, it's spinning at a higher rate, so it's a higher gear. All right, so those are the 3 presentations, and so I'll bring you around for a quick walk, and I'll show you why I haven't had a antique tools episode in a few weeks. So let's do a quick walk around. This will only take a minute. All right, well, it's weather report time. So today's Sunday, April 7th. This past Thursday, we had a snowstorm, had 2 feet of snow, very wet and very heavy snow. Caused a lot of damage around here. You can see, and when I say around here, I mean my property and the general area. You can see that limb snapped off the pine tree there, and it's hanging up on this tree here, so I'm gonna have to get that down somehow. I've got more in the back, I'll show you. So this past Thursday we had this 2-foot snowstorm, knocked out power. Some people are still without power in the area. It was a really heavy wet snow, so it gave us 2 feet of snow that day. So I spent some time cleaning up the snow. I had to do it 2 phases, and you can see all the dirt there. I'll come back to that in a minute. And then, so in the back here, another branch down there. There's one right out there, small one. And I know there's some trees that came down out there in the bush. But you can see that, that was 2 feet just the other day, and a lot of it's melted already. You can see more dirt here. See, it's all scraped up here. So at this time of year, it's really tough to clear snow, to do snow blowing or plowing, because the ground is soft. And what happens with me is this. So it's really tough to use this snow blower. I have to be really careful not to dig into the ground, because this is what happens. Look at all this. So I'm hoping this is the last storm, and then I'll get in here and clean the snow blower all up. But I was real careful not to hit the dirt, and that still happened. So and then 2 weeks ago we had another 2 feet of snow. Similar situation, soft ground, not as bad, but still a soft ground. Spent 2 days cleaning that up. And then I've also been busy boiling my sap, doing my maple sugaring. So I'm down to the final boil here. I got that, and some in here, and then I'm done. This is should be my very last boil for the season. This is my 3rd batch. My buckets are still up out there. You can see the blue buckets. So I've been busy with my maple sugaring as well. 3rd thing is, I unretired a year ago, and this is our busy time of the year where I work. So I've been busy with my job, busy with the maple sugaring. That's what that is there. Busy with the snowstorms. So it's been a hectic couple of weeks, and that's why I didn't do my antique episodes for a couple of weeks. So hopefully things will get back to normal, and I'll have an episode for next week. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.